The newest member of the new Eternia subline is here, and he's flying straight into our collections. That's right, Lord Stratos of Avion is here. Let's go ahead and check him out on today's deceptibot9 reviews. How's it going, everyone? deceptibot9 here, and thank you, as always, for joining me here on the channel. Now, before we get too far into the review, I'd like to ask, if you like what you see, go ahead, leave me a like. Plus, if you like what you see and you want to stay tuned for more and all of the future content that I've got planned, go ahead, subscribe as well. It does really, truly mean a lot to me. Plus, if you want to follow me anywhere else on the internet, you can go ahead and find me on Twitter at deceptibot9, on TikTok at deceptibot9, and on Instagram at deceptibot9reviews. Okay, with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and take a closer look at new Eternia Stratos. Alright, and here we are with a closer look at new Eternia Stratos, all geared up and has taken to the skies. Off the top, I think Stratos is a pretty solid addition to the new Eternia lineup. I think there's some really good things going with him. And I do have at least one major problem with it. It's not a problem per se, but one annoyance anyway. So we'll go ahead and cover all that. But first, let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the details on this guy. All right, so getting closer look here at Stratos. This is, of course, got his flight mask on, but if we go ahead, take that off, we can see his beautiful little face under there. So face is sculpted pretty well. I really like the way actually it turned out. The gray here on the chin beard is nice. The skin color right here is really, really good. The sort of peachy color there with the sort of, he's always kind of had a monkey-ish face to me for whatever reason, but it executed really well here. The goggles, of course, also look really well with the rest of the helmet. Got some nice detail going on there. We get some feathers up here, his little feathered collar, which is representative of his look from the mini comics with a couple different shades of red, which look really nice. We got a nice blue harness here. If you go to the back, is accompanied by a pretty sweet jetpack. I really like the way this thing turned out. You can also see that all across his skin texture here, there's a lot of fur. He's a little bit bulky. He's got some nice muscle detail here underneath. He's on a little bit bigger of a body than normal. I think it's it might be the Revelation Beastman body, just sort of modified a little bit. Coming down here, of course, we get this nice little pouch, which we'll talk about in a little bit. His nice gold belt right here with the loincloth that is really nice. I like the dual colors on it a whole lot. The way the light blue fades into the dark blue. Overall, really nice there. Coming down here to the legs, it is just a whole lot of plain gray paint, but with, a lot of this nice fur hair detail molded in, and down on the feet as well. Nice fur on the top, plus the toe nails there. We got to look at the wings, of course. We got to look at the wings. They are very nicely detailed overall. I really like the way the red looks here, and I like the way these top ones look. They've got a nice little black wash on them. I'm not sure why they black washed only the top section and not this bottom section, so that is a little strange. I do wish they had done black wash all the way down for the wings, but what are you going to do? So that's all the details on Stratos. Let's go ahead and talk accessories on him really quick. We've seen some of them, but there is a little bit more that we haven't looked at yet. All right, including the ones on his body, here is all of the accessories that Stratos comes with. He comes with this mask that we saw earlier. It looks really nice. I really like the design on it overall, from the little wings off to the side to the strap to just the mask itself. And as we saw, it just plugs in to this belt or belt pouch or whatever, and then it just slides right over the top of his head. Fits right on there like mask anyway, which is really cool. That's part of his sort of new Eternia design aesthetic overall. The pouch as well is a new accessory on him, obviously, and you can just take it off of the jetpack. It's just hooked on there to the side. So if you do all that, take that off, you get a little bit more of a classic looking Stratos here. The mini comic collar up here also, if you pop the ball joint of the head off, you can go ahead and remove the collar. That is fully removable. Pop the head back on there, and he's kind of a little more standard. You can see he does also come with two grippy hands as well, instead of the two flying hands there, which I kind of usually prefer. Plus, the Staff of Avion as well, which does look really nice, and it does fit into the grippy hands. And so if you wanted to change that out, just like all Masterverse figures, it is really easy to switch that out and give him his weapon. I do wish it was sort of full staff length instead of this little short staff, but it does the trick, and it does look really nice in there as well. You can also, if you would like, remove the jetpack. It just slots into the back so if you push up on the piece, you can take the jetpack off if you do not want that on there. It just has these two little tab slots that you just slide into the big holes and then down a little bit to secure that lock. I haven't tried it, but I'm sure you could if you want to remove the wings. I'm not sure why you would. Maybe you're making a custom or something. If you take the hand off and just kind of slide it all the way down, you should be able to do that, because as you can see, they kind of droop. This is that annoyance that I was talking about in the beginning bumper. I wish they had done the wings a little bit differently, because depending on how you pose them, they don't stay up very well. They're meant to loop around the bicep, but you see they just kind of droop. So it's kind of disappointing that they don't really stay anywhere. So I wish they had done the wings slightly differently. If you like bend the arm, they stay pretty well. Or if you fully straighten them, get them into a certain position, then they stay for the most part. But if you're just going to do like a straight down, they tend to sag, and it does look a little weird. So I just wish they might have done something a little different with the Stratos wings, but I don't think it's bad overall for the most part. And it is, of course, representative of how the original toy and character overall look and feel. So now that we've got all the accessories done and covered, let's go ahead and show off articulation on Stratos. It's very standard Masterverse. Not a lot different here. Not really anything different at all, but let's cover it anyway. Head on a ball joint, can rock and roll all the way around, swivel all the way around, of course. Arms do go all the way around. They go out that far. They're not really hindered by the wings, which is a good thing. If you tilt them backward, they might be blocked a little bit by the jetpack here, but overall, nothing terrible. They do swivel all the way at the bicep. They do have double elbow joint as well, which is not restricted by the wings whatsoever for the most part. And wrists, of course, all wrists swivel and hinge all the way up and down. He does have the diaphragm cut, which allows him to rock and roll side to side, crunch forward and bend back. Waist does swivel all the way around as well. Legs go forward, not very far at all because of the hip skirt. Back, barely at all because of the hip skirt. Legs go out, pretty decent amount. They do a nice spread there. Swivel at the thigh, of course. Double knee joint right there as well. Swivel at the shin, plus ankle pivot and hinge all the way around there. So he is just as posable as every other Masterverse figure, which I think is a great articulation scheme. I have really no problems with it, except for maybe I wish they could add butterfly joints, but for the most part, they're pretty good. So let's go ahead and see how he scales and looks with some other figures, shall we? I don't have I don't have an Origins Stratos to compare the new Eternia Stratos with. I skipped out on the original release, and then I never wanted to pick up the dreadful mini comic version. So we're going to compare him with his sometimes enemy, sometimes friend Buzzoff, who is standard Origin size, and I do hope we get to see a Masterverse version of very soon. Here's Stratos with his buddy, new Eternia He-Man, and their foe, new Eternia Skeletor. Alright, so that's going to do it for my closer look at new Eternia Stratos. So let's go ahead and fly on back up to me for my final thoughts. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on new Eternia Stratos here? Well, I think he is a very welcome addition to the new Eternia lineup. I think he is pretty solid overall. Besides my grievance with the way the wings are, he's really good overall. I wish they had done something different with those wings, and I feel like my liking of this figure would improve greatly if there was something different with how those wings were structured. But otherwise, he's great. He stands up great. He looks great with all the other new Eternia figures. He's got nice molded detail all over the place, and I love the option of all the swappable accessories that he has. He comes with a lot, from the neck collar to the jetpack on the back, the mask, the little pouch. There's a lot of variety what you can do with Stratos, which I always love. It reminds me of Beastman, who's still one of my favorite figures in the whole new Eternia and Masterverse line as a whole. So overall, if you need a Stratos in your new Eternia line, definitely want to pick this guy up. Alright guys, that's going to do it for my full review of Masters of the Universe, Masterverse New Eternia Stratos. Go ahead and let me know your opinions on this figure down below. Do you agree with me on the wing thing? Do you think he's perfect? Do you think he's the best version of Stratos we've ever had? All that sort of stuff. Dump it down below. I love talking Masterverse with you guys down there. And, of course, if you made it all the way to the end, thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it. And as always, I've been your host, deceptibot9. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys later.